welcome back, Hunters. I'm the Survivalist, and we return to Monster Hunter Generations Ultimate, where today we're going to finish off with the Fated 4 with going after Mizutsune, and probably go after another water monster just to kind of have that thematically wrap up. So what we're going to do is we'll take out the, just kind of like our general Pierce build. We've got Ammo Saver, Pierce Up, True Shot Up, Critical Boost, and Resentment. And we're just rocking that in using Hurricane's Gaze, Silverwind Nargacuga's Light Bowgun, and the Atoll Ka stuff. So we'll probably go for Mizutsune second. As for who we'll go for first, I'm thinking we'll probably look at doing... I'm thinking Seltas Queen. Because I think they might be the only, like, water monsters we encounter at G3. I just want to go through a little more to see, but... yeah, it looks like that's probably our best bet there. Okay. So, let's see, where was the one for just a hunt? Because I don't trust myself to actually do a, just a capture. Everything looks good, so let's head on out and start with Seltas Queen. Now, Seltas Queen is a really interesting monster, but it is one of the ones where if you're going to bring back Seltas Queen, Seltas has to go with it, and I feel like Seltas needs a little bit of, like, extra work done to him, just to bring him a little bit more, like, modernized with how Monster Hunter is. Because let's face it, as it stands, Seltas has... I mean, there are a few attacks it has compared to, like, some of the really early Monster Hunter monsters, but I do think it could use, like, a little bit more to itself, just to, like, help distinguish it. Yeah, here's the pair. We're not really going to worry about Seltas too much. The Queen is our main focus, after all. Yeah, for using the Light Bowgun, or, well, I'd probably say any gunning weapon against Seltas Queen, it is pretty easy to take her on. I think the hardest part, well, yeah, her partner makes it a little annoying at certain instances. But I think the biggest issue is more so minding the charges that Seltas Queen is capable of. Because they do cover a fair bit of ground. But with the Valor hunting style, they just completely negate a lot of the issues they might pose. Now, we've already got a part break to the back leg there. And honestly, when they partner up like this, it's actually easier to deal with them than if they're, like, apart. Because at least when they're together, you know you are facing attacks coming from just that one direction. But Seltas Queen has a lot of parts that you can really chip away and get part breaks from. All four legs, her tail, and I believe it's a few breaks at, like, the mandibles and that at her head. Or, I guess face more so, because it's kind of... yeah, it's got a little tiny head back hidden away by all her legs, but ooh, did hit for pretty good, but I think that's mostly because of the defense down we got from Seltas. Ah, the bugger. Yeah, see, this is where I honestly feel like they're more dangerous apart than combined. Because I have to watch out for attacks coming from multiple directions here. And I hate when they ride the wall. That's one thing Monster Hunter... it's gotten better in, like, more recent titles of that, but when monsters basically do charges up against the wall and they kind of skirt along that, it's just such a nuisance to try to deal with. Because you'll avoid the initial attack, no problem. But because they wall ride, they just coast their way up to contacting you. Well, there's another part break. And yeah, as you can see, I'm trying to get more into the habit of using the quick scope. Oh, there we go. And we'll just dodge right through that. Actually, wasn't sure if we were going to get the full dodge off or not. Ooh. Yeah, I gotta be careful. The two basically do make up like a tank and turret, but you gotta remember that the main cannon actually does belong to Seltas Queen in there. Thank you for that. Nope. Yeah, I gotta be careful of... Okay, yeah. It's once she, like, lowers her head and puts Seltas to be more like a drill. That's when we gotta be more careful of, like, the charge coming through. Have I? No, I might have actually even broken her tail, too. As for you... I am kind of tempted just to use up the ammo, too. Nope. Okay, no, he's going to be going off, so we're going to follow up, too. I was going to say, I was tempted just to take down Seltas, so that way it's easier to take down Seltas Queen, but I think she's able to call in a second one, even if you take the one Seltas down that she starts with. I'm not 100% certain on that. I think because of most of her danger does come from having him combined with herself, they made it so that way she can call in multiple ones per fight. Or at least maybe that was only in 4 Ultimate. But yeah, you can see Pierce really is the meta build for... I think it's basically both heavy and light bowgun. No, yeah, I dodged a little too early to try avoiding that. See, some monster attacks in that, they really are, no matter what you try using for, like, a counter, you almost need to have that, absolute readiness saved up for it. Easily just avoid her now. Yeah, I'm not expecting her to be up and about for too much longer with how we've been going against her. Yeah, she's already limping. Although, Seltas is proving to be a bit of a bodyguard for her. Yeah, we'll just follow up and take care of her quickly. I can't remember if I've actually gone on a hunt for... No, I don't think I have solo hunted Seltas in G rank. So you know what, maybe we'll make this a 3-monster fight. Or a 3-monster episode. Just see if we can take him down before we do. Ah, you bugger. Yeah, we'll see. We might still be able to take him down with Seltas Queen, but I think the two will be in this area up ahead. Okay, she's here. He must... Oh, yeah, there he is. Oh, okay, so that is Seltas Queen down. I doubt we'll have enough damage to put down Seltas before we time out. Well, we can still try at least. Oh, he's even limping, so we might actually get him down, too. Oh, yeah. 2 for 1. Probably not going to get that many carves off, but again, we don't really need materials, so at least it's like another one to check off of we have hunted this large monster for GU. There we go. Actually got full cars off of Seltas Queen. And can get a couple of carves off of Seltas, but doubt we'll be able to. Yeah, no. Timed out there. Oddly enough, it is weird to think that Seltas Queen is a water monster, but it is the truth of it. With the, like, that one super shot she used against us, that is a water damaging attack. And I think a few of her weapons do have water element to them. I think her light bow gun, although I don't have it up to its, like, maximum form possible, I do believe it is one that specializes in water rapid fire, as well as statuses. Which is a bit weird, but I guess it's kind of going into, like, the insect sort of theming for them. Like, there isn't a way to give a monster defense down, which would actually be an interesting thing to give to a weapon. Like, you might not use it so much solo, but if you're hunting with other people, I could see that as being, like, a really powerful tool. Yeah, let's just stock ourselves up a little bit. We don't even have to restock any ammo combination supplies, because it's... Again, Pierce Shot is just so strong, it doesn't really have any rivals to itself. Only, like, in extreme niche circumstances does anything seem to, like, have enough power to rival it. And now, we will go after the last of the Fated Four, Mizutsune. And then we'll have to see what other G3 ones remain. So we'll go for Water Kerfuffle. And head right out for this one. This week is probably going to be pretty quick for a lot of these hunts. Well, I'll probably be using Pierce for a lot of the hunts forward. I don't think there's really that many monsters that I would use otherwise. Maybe when it does come to, I might have a double Elder Dragon hunt coming up soon that we might be using at least, like, a flaming build for one of the two. But I think for the most part, old monsters ahead are likely going to be best dealt with using Pierce builds. Though maybe Yongaruga would be one, and Normal Shot might be better. Just because with, like, its smaller size, it might be more beneficial to use the Kazusop or something for that. Well, there's Bubble Fox. Actually, this one looks like it might be a bit of a big-sized one. Yeah, you're angry now. Now, with how low to the ground Mizutsune stays, I don't really have to worry about, trying to aim all that much. And that should give me an opening here for some shots. Yeah, with Mizutsune having come back in Rise and then Astalos and Sunbreak, I do feel like Gammoth has to be on its way soon to be seen. I'm not sure how she'll be done to have her attacks changed up. But considering how modern the Fated Four were, and, like, I don't think there's really all that much really change when it did come to bring back, like, say, Glavenus, Astalos, and... Ooh, gotta be careful here. Yeah, Mizutsune is still pretty agile back in the older titles. Well, I say older like it's been a while since Generations Ultimate, but I guess if we go by years, it has been a little bit. So I'm trying to see about getting head break, as well as the top fin on its back can be broken. Oh, there's one head break, but I believe there's a second one we can still get from it. Oh yeah, it's enraged, so we'll try to get... Okay, we couldn't get out of the range of the roar. Probably should just use Valor. Again, that's the big thing I keep forgetting, or I really should be using much more of, is just Valor style has such a potent and powerful counterplay like that, that I really should be making better use of it. Oh, okay. Don't know if I actually got a part break or I just knocked it over. It sounded like there might have been a part break, but I can't tell what it would have been, unless maybe it's like the tail that did. And then oddly enough, Mizutsune is actually a monster where if you can get hit by one of the bubbles, it actually gives you more benefits than, like, anything negative. It does pose you at, like, risk of it getting worse. I think you get, like, a little bit of an evasion buff. Nope. Yeah, I should have been more careful about that. I think, like, Bubble 1 gives you an evasion bonus. I don't think it's, like, evade distance, but it's one of the few monsters where it doesn't hurt actually getting a little bit of, like, a buff or a status effect from it. Let's get ourselves rearmed and go back in for more. Oh. I didn't even realize you can find Mizutsune eating fish here. I was hoping to try to get the stamina in. Oh, I don't know how much stamina it might have been able to gain back from eating there, although with it not going immediately enraged, I say as it immediately enrages. But it didn't enrage after the interruption from, like, its eating, so it might be the case that it didn't actually get a lot of stamina back from having a chance to, like, eat. But yeah, those big wind-up attacks are the ones that you gotta be very careful of. It'll be once we go after the Deviant version, Soul Seer, that we'll have to see how we'll fare. But again, I'm planning the Deviants as, like, the last monsters for the series. Also because I think I have to do a fair bit of hunting across a number of them to get their G-rank equivalents opened up. That's one thing about going after some things in Monster Hunter is the grind can sometimes be real. Oh. And there it goes. I'm not actually sure where it's taken off to. But you gotta give it has some leaps to itself. Okay, we'll check over by the coastal area first, then we'll try going down toward, like, where its nest usually is. I actually wonder if I should even try getting the tail off, since it is... Yeah, you know what? We'll see if we can get that tail off. We've already got a break to it. Oh, even got a topple. When it does come to tail cuts, it's probably best to... Oh, actually... I mean, it is an endgame weapon, so... It might not fare too badly, but the only thing is, I don't think you go after tails all that often towards endgame, really. You're better off probably using just like a Blade Master with a proper cutting weapon. Just gonna see if I can get the second head break here. Yeah, there we go. So now all that's basically left is to put it down for good. And because we have interrupted its stamina consumption a couple of times, it's showing some of the signs of that. Like the charge that kind of feels clumsy and awkward at the end of them. That's until it decides to get enraged. But I do have to admit, I do quite love the Valor style of light bowgun. Once you do have the gauge up and you're doing like the side shots and such, it just feels like it kind of flows into light bowgun's identity, which is like a really mobile, quick shot weapon. And then getting, like, the free little bit of... I mean, granted, it doesn't build up that quickly. But a little bit of knockout help is nice. Yeah, okay. So, that's that. Flying off once again. God. Like, I'm trying to think if there's any other skeleton that would do, like, a leap out of the area. But I guess because Mizutsune... No, I thought I... Maybe I just heard the water lapping against the shore there. I thought I heard, like, a monster sound effect. But yeah, I guess Mizutsune is the only Leviathan that is kind of more, like, terrestrial-based in Generations Ultimate to have it leaps around. I honestly thought they would have given it, like, it dives in the water and then swims to another spot. No, and then one of the attacks that Rise was basically built for, I'd say. I still do kind of think that Monster Hunter might be able to make use of, like, not as much of, like, a exaggerated, like, super leap, but even just, like, a simple jump could be helpful for the game in some regards. Because, like, there are a number of beam attacks or such that would be good to have a way of being able to counter, more so than just the super dive. Okay, I actually don't know if we'll be able to take it down before it's able to get out of the area. Okay, not quite. And from where its direction is going from here, looks like it's straight down. So I think we want to be going... I don't think it's an 8 here we're going up to. I think it's actually the next area. But yeah, it is weird to watch, just tilt the camera up and see it flying through the sky like that. That's like how Rajang gets around too, but at least Rajang, you know it has like the muscle for that. But I think Mizutsune is coming down to this area here. Yeah, it is here, and yeah, a weird place for it to go to sleep. I really thought it would go up to like the little island area. Like, way up at the top of the map. Oop. I probably could have gotten out of that. Oh! Ooh, that might actually be an interesting end screen with having done the leap off there. Yeah, that was Mizutsune done, with its coming back in Rise and then its Violet version in Sunbreak. It was an interesting fight for sure. But we'll carve off what we can, and that'll bring this episode to a close once we get back to the Gathering Hub. Next couple of episodes we'll have to see. I believe there's Yangaruga, Uragon, Lao Shanlung, and Kirin, and that might be it from G3. I'm actually a little surprised at how few like monsters G3 has when we compare and get up to like G4. Like, usually there's kind of a steady climb to have monsters, even more monsters, most monsters. But here's like a lot of monsters, more monsters, less monsters, much more monsters. For how like the G ranks have gone for G Ultimate. Well, that's another one taken down. And the Fated 4 have all been finished off. Yes, we'll send all these off. And it's not too bad of a end screen. I do feel like the best ones have definitely been coming from like World and Rise for like the end screens, but I still kind of feel like it could use a little bit of dialing back when you look at the effects there. Like the giant red vertical slash, the erupting pillar of flame there for the hit connection, it might be a little much considering how, like, anticlimactic it felt in the hunt itself. Send all that off. And head back to the hub. And I'll just take a little peek to see, because if it is, like, that's how few we have left to go, I might switch up the loadout a little bit and go after a water build for Uragon and then a normal build for Yangaruga. I just need to check and see if that is indeed the case for what remains. Oh, excuse me. G3. Yeah, so Yangaruga. I guess Lagiacrus we still have to hunt. I thought I might have already gone after him, but... Oh, and Gormagala, so... We'll save the Elder Dragons most likely for next week, then. As yeah, I think what we'll do is Lagiacrus and Gormagala, some of Monster Hunter's most notable and famous monsters, and then save Uragon and Yangaruga for the end of the week. As everything else we have basically gone after already, and we don't really need to go after the hyper versions. So we are good to end today's episode of Monster Hunter Generations Ultimate right here. Thank you all very much for joining me on this episode of the series. If you did like the video, be sure to give it a like. And if you have any comment, well, I got so many wires and such down here that's a little hard to get the hand out for a moment. If you have any comments, tips, or tricks, be sure to leave comments right down below. And until I see you all in the next video episode, Hunters and Survivors, please remember, as always, to take care, stay alive, and happy hunting.